Hello, and I hope you've had a wonderful day. My name is Kyle Balmer. This is Braden Parr. Welcome back to Fresh Weekly News. Let's start this newscast off with what's been going on last week.
Sutton varsity teams both came home with a win on Thursday for their only game of the week. The score of the girls' game was 58-31, and the boys' score was 56-48 over the Sandy Creek Cougars. Rare. Yes, Lacey, the Mustangs and Phillies stampeded right over those Cougars.
My name is Nate Andrews, and last Saturday, Speech Leets went to Osceola to compete. Victoria Hoffman got 17th in informative and 12th in OID. Nate Andrews got top novice in humorous and 12th in OID. Brandon Friesen got 12th in OID. Addie Friesen got 12th in OID. Megan Fair got 12th in OID. And Jared Schweitzer and Ben Andrews got 14th in duet. From varsity, Tana Eggers got 4th in informative. Brittany Reinsch got 19th in informative and 22nd in duet. Andrew Christ got 1st in entertainment and 3rd in OID. Michael Sourceman got 8th in entertainment. Brandon Chalewski got 21st in entertainment and 6th in persuasive. Valerie Ford got 5th in extemp and 13th in persuasive. Danny Castaneda got 9th in persuasive. Alex Alarcon got 1st in poetry and 6th in serious. Valen Stearns got 7th in poetry and 22nd in duet. Aaliyah Somerville got 19th in poetry. Casey Van Kirk got 4th in humorous. Cassie Lopez got 5th in humorous. Caitlin Grease got 6th in humorous. Katie Milson got 23rd in serious and 3rd in OID. Melanie Schutte got 3rd in OID. And Jordan Finley got 3rd in OID.
At Sutton's last meet, which was the Workat Invitational, Ignacio Rivera got 1st, Lee Carlson got 2nd, Anton Carlson got 2nd, Cameron Kleinschmidt got 2nd, Chandler Stone got 1st, Armando Ochsner got 3rd, Tanner Peterson got 2nd, and Stephen Kelly got 4th.
Thank you. And now our top story of the day. Groundhog Day is here, so let's hear a little history about it.
On February 2nd, every year, a groundhog is used to determine how much longer winter is going to last.
If the groundhog sees his shadow and returns to his burrow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. But if he stays outside of his burrow, winter is almost over and spring is among us.
Some mystery about Groundhog Day starts with a legend. The legend has lasted through centuries and is similar to the beliefs about Candlemas Day. If Candlemas Day was clear and had no clouds, there would be more winter. But if Candlemas Day were wet and cloudy, there would be no more winter. The Romans brought the tradition to Germany, who used a hedgehog to cast shadows. Shadow is determined if winter would still go on. In early Pennsylvania, the settlers were German, and they found a groundhog to replace that hedgehog.
Today, the national groundhog is Punxsutawney Phil, and he has become increasingly popular. He has starred in a movie and is used to support political events and sports teams. Tens of thousands of visitors come to see Phil on his special day.
Thanks, and our last story of the night, Whitney, Rachel, Ashby, and Destiny interviewed a couple of teachers from Sutton Public Schools, so let's see what happens.
Feature story includes an interview from Mr. Coons, Ms. Hanson, Mr. Yost, and lastly, Mrs. Thompson.
These interviews are based on their personal opinions about our school.
These interviews are not your typical types of interviews. Sit back and enjoy.
Well, when I was in school here, we had the red circle, and I'd bring back the red circle, which used to be a thing out front there. That'd be kind of fun to have back.
I would want to make sure that we had a bigger area to eat luncheon, better chairs for Whitney, because she begged me for those, and an outdoor recreation area where we could kids could go out and study, eat lunch, and just take a breather outside.
If I had a magic wand, I think I would change all the desks into being big chairs because they're much more comfortable and desks are terrible.
I would become the principal.
charge the students so that you would behave correctly, maybe we're more on time better to class and in your seats and listen better, right? Is that a good idea? Whitney does a good job of it.
Well, I don't know. I think the first thing I would do, I just order a big bouncy castle and put all of you in it and see who survives the longest, because I think that would be entertaining.
I would make sure school starts at 10, and I would make sure we leave at 2 because I need sleep.
I think communication, if you can talk to the kids or talk to the teachers, and be involved with them and see what's going on in their lives, I think that's a good thing to let them know there.
Someone that works hard to meet kids' needs, someone who builds positive relationships, someone who is honest and willing to go that extra mile to do whatever they can to help kids.
I think a good teacher is one that is dedicated to their job and spend a lot of time working on lesson plans or grading. But I think most importantly, one that listens and one that gets to know the students.
You're looking at it.
Kind of the same thing as a good teacher principal, good communication, having obviously everything finished, turned in, but also listens and pays attention in the classroom.
A good student is someone who isn't afraid to ask questions, makes sure that they're paying attention in class, participates in class, engages in class, and someone who also isn't afraid to be involved in activities, whether it's on the athletic sides of things or if they're involved in the fine arts or FCCLA, FFA, student council, someone who's just willing to be a part of the school, not just in one area but in multiple.
A good student is one who listens in class and pays attention and makes sure they have all their stuff done. Like Whitney is indicating herself as a good student. But yeah, pretty much.
Those are hard to come by here at Sutton, but just one that doesn't ask me any questions and does what I say.
My kids and I, we watched the Minions movie the other day, so you could be all the Minions, right, with these students? It's gonna be good.
Well, I had something come to mind, but it's not a movie. It's a show that's on in the evenings. It used to star Robin Williams when he was alive. It was called The Crazy Ones.
Some days I feel like it's the Hunger Games. It's kind of the survival of the fittest. You feel like you're fighting and who's going to survive. But that's most days.
I would say we'd be in Toy Story because we are going to infinity and beyond.
So obviously your peers are the people like your age you'd be working with, so maybe like the people that I would be working with. And is it dangerous depending on what your peers are doing? Are they doing good things or bad things? Your morals, what you define those as. So could be good, could be bad.
Peer pressure can be good and peer pressure can be bad. There is strength in numbers, whether it's kids trying to support each other to do the right thing, but it can be dangerous if kids and or adults are pushing each other in dangerous directions or just down that ornery path that can lead them into some trouble.
I think peer pressure is when a student or a person is pressuring someone their own age to do something, which sounds really generic, but it can be good or bad. It depends what it is.
Just look at my peers here at Sutton, and that's the definition of peer pressure. They're mean to me. It's very dangerous.
I really enjoyed coaching and I really enjoyed being around kids. I think they're fun. They're better than adults because adults are kind of boring, so kids are kind of fun to be around.
I wanted to work with kids on a bigger scale. When I was in a classroom, I had 20 to 30 kids in my class every day, and I didn't get to know all of the kids, and I'd rather know all of the kids and have a better opportunity to help all kids succeed, all kids get a diploma, not just work with a few here and there every year.
That's kind of a long story, I guess, but overall I just like being around students and around people, and I always liked English and reading, so I kind of combined two things that I really liked into one job.
I really like being at school. My mom was a teacher, my grandma was a teacher, and I had to become a better teacher than them.
Oh, I think it's obviously a 10. The more you can gain more knowledge, it's important, but again, the correct knowledge is important. So if you want to go on to something, you've got to find the right area you want to go into. Just don't do it for the money. I'll say I'm a teacher, I didn't do it for the money, I did it for teaching kids, right?
If you're not pushing yourself in education, you can shut yourself out of some things in your future. Not everybody may go on to college or trade school, and that's okay, because college and those kinds of things aren't for everybody. But if you're not at least getting that high school diploma, so you can set yourself up for some successful things later on in your life, I worry that the kids who don't get their diploma will miss out, and I don't want any kids to miss out on having a future that they want.
Well, I think overall, having a formal education, maybe an 8 out of 10. I think it's really important, but education comes in all forms. It doesn't mean you have to go to 4-year college, but you have to learn whatever job you're doing.
I think getting the education is obviously very important. I would say about a 9.98, and I want everyone to go on and find their special skills that they're good at, so I think education is important for that.
We know the answer in my class is no, right? We would always think boring. I think it's pretty cute.
It's interesting. That sums it up. There is some change, absolutely. There's definitely some change in education, but that's where we all have to work together, students and faculty.
Well, that picture, I think that students complain a lot, and I think that I almost want to give them more homework based off that picture.
I think that picture is very accurate. Cell phones always need to be turned off during school.
What kind of pie? Of course.
Love pie.
No, I don't, in fact.
I love pie.
Thank you, that's our newscast for today. Come back next week for the freshest news available.